Hi everybody, it's me Mark with Mark's Issues with Archie Comics. And today I'm going to do a review of a lesser known Archie title. Everybody knows, Archie and Jughead and Betty and Veronica and Reggie and Josie and the Pussycats. But today I'm going to do That Wilkin Boy. This is a book about Bingo Wilkin and his dog Rebel and his girlfriend Samantha. There's Rebel. That's Samantha. And that's Bingo Wilkin. They are in the Archie universe. They live over in a town called Midville, which must be somewhere close to Riverdale. Because if you look on the cover, let's see, you got Archie and Veronica and Betty, and there's Jughead. So they've come to see him play, I guess. And this book came out in January of 1969. The artwork was done by Dan DiCarlo, and the writing was done by Frank Doyle, except for the one story in there. There is a little Jinx story in here, and that was done by Joe Edwards. He does the writing and the drawing for Little Jinx. This has 5 stories in it, and we'll go through the stories. And that says, as a side note, Bingo Wilkin is the cousin of Jughead Jones. That's another way they're related with Riverdale and everything. Well, the first story is called Canine Cupid, and this is a story where Bingo is in love with his next door neighbor, Samantha. He goes over, tries to be with her, and for some reason the parents are always feuding about how the last name is said. The correct pronunciation of the name is Wilkin, but Samantha's father always says Wilkins with an S on the end. And whenever he says Wilkins, it doesn't matter where the father, Bingo's father is. He could be inside the house with the doors closed next door, and he'll come out fuming and yelling and screaming and having a tantrum, saying it's Wilkin, Wilkin, there's no S. And I think Samantha's father, Mr. Smythe, knows this. He just does it to irritate Bingo's dad. So again, he says Wilkins, which causes the dad to come out and get in an altercation with Mr. Smythe. And so he takes Bingo and he goes home so that they can't be together. And Rebel, the little dog here, he's a beagle, I believe. Even though he's a dog and he can't talk to people and people don't understand what he's doing, he talks to the reader. He has thought bubbles. And he does things kind of like Scooby-Doo, but without the talking and them understanding what he's doing. So what he does to get them together is he steals Bingo's mom's carton of eggs. And then he sneaks into the living room and he ties Bingo's bootstraps together. So when Bingo's mom asks him to go get eggs at the store, he trips, which stalls him just for a few minutes while he untangles his boots. And while he's untangling his boots, Rebel has run next door and he knocked Mrs. Smythe's carton of eggs on the floor and cracked them and smashed them all without them knowing. And the mom goes, "Oh my, I'm out of eggs." And she says, "Samantha, will you go and get eggs at the store?" So of course, as they go to the store, they run into each other because they live next door to each other. And Rebel's very proud with himself because he got the young lovebirds back together. The second story in here, excuse me, is titled Change of Heart. And this again starts out with the fathers arguing about the last name. Well, actually, it starts out with Bingo asking his dad for some money to help cover the cost of taking Samantha to the dance. And his father's doing the income taxes at the time. He's like, "What a terrible time to try to touch me for money, son. I don't have time and I don't want to spend any more money," because he's mad about the income taxes. So Bingo goes next door to tell Samantha he can't do it. And when he walks over there, Mr. Smythe again goes, "Oh, it's that Wilkins boy with the S," which causes Bingo's father to come out and have a fit. And while he's having a fit, he accidentally jumps up and down and he pushes on one of the weightlifting bars, which causes one of the dumbbells to fly off. And it gives Mr. Smythe a black eye because it falls and it hits him in the eye. And Bingo's mom comes out and sees that Mr. Smythe, who's bigger and stronger because he's always working out, he has those weights, has a black eye, and it was Bingo's dad that gave him the black eye. She runs inside and she jumps on his lap and she's like, "Oh, my big strong man, you've got to stay away from him or you're going to end up hurting him." And she's all lovey-dovey. And then in the last scene, Bingo's taking Samantha to the dance because his dad had a change of heart and gave him some money for him to take her out to the dance. The third story in here is a little Jinx story. It's a one-pager, and it's called Girl Watcher. And it starts out, and you have little Jinx, and she's walking through the neighborhood, and she keeps seeing, someone at the corner of her eye, and it's Greg, and he's hiding behind a tree looking at her, and he's around the corner of a building, and he's peeking around the corner looking at her. He's just too bashful to go talk to her, I guess. And then down at the bottom of the page, there's the 2 pounds. She goes, "I just don't understand why he's looking at me. How does he know today was the day I got my allowance?" She doesn't understand. So it kind of leaves you thinking, is he looking at her because she's a little girl and he's a little boy? Or is he looking at her because she got her allowance? So it's a fun little one-page story that leaves you thinking. The fourth story in here is called a Painful Lesson. And again, it's with the two fathers feuding. They were doing something, and Mr. Smythe says Wilkins again, and the dad comes out, and he's furious. And what happens next? Because the stories are very similar. He does something, and it drops a weight on his foot or something. So he gets mad. Mr. Smythe gets mad. When he gets mad, he says Wilkin. It's Wilkins with the S. And Mr. Wilkins is like, that's the key. That's the trick. I have to make you mad. If I can make you mad, you say my name right. That one was kind of a goofy story, but again, it was still a fun, lighthearted story. And the fifth one in here is called Seesaw. And that's a story with, it's got Bingo and Samantha, and it's got the Bingos, the band, and it's got Rebel in it. And it starts out with the band is over at Mr. Wilkins' house, and he can't take their music anymore because it's the 60s and it's crazy lyrics. And he's like, "Get out of here, you guys. You're driving me crazy." And they're like, "Man, we're upsetting the establishment, man." He's like, "I have an idea. Why don't you go next door and see Samantha?" So now all the guys are like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go play music for Samantha." So they all go over to Mr. Smythe's house to go see Samantha. And they're in there and they're driving Mr. Smythe crazy. And then Teddy, who's back here, this is Teddy Tambourine. He's looking around and he's like, "Where'd Bingo and Samantha go?" Because he kind of likes Samantha too. He's kind of like Reggie to Archie. And he sees they're outside and they're being smoochy. So he runs over and he turns on the sprinkler and they get soaking wet. Well, Rebel the dog sees this and he realizes it's Teddy is up to everything. So he runs and he grabs a teddy bear and he puts the teddy bear where the faucet is, where the hose is hooked up for the sprinklers. He's like, "This will be a clue," and he'll realize that it's Teddy that's messing with the two of them. Well, Bingo doesn't get it. He goes, "Oh, it's a teddy bear. It must be just belonged to some little kid that was over here playing, and that's how we got wet." Which just drives Rebel crazy because he's like, "Why don't you understand these clues I'm leaving you?" And then they were trying to go somewhere else. He's like, now I'm going to move in with them. And he's like trying to look all slick and cool and everything. And he's leaning up against the guitar. Well, Rebel had grabbed the saw out of Mr. Wilkins' garage and then ran back over to Mr. Smythe's house. And he sawed the neck of the guitar just to where it almost broke. So when Teddy leans up against it, he falls and he ruins the guitar, and it ruins Teddy's plans. And Rebel's all proud of himself for, stopping the shenanigans. So that's the review of the book. It's a very interesting book. It ran for just over 50 issues. I believe 52 issues. And it was also part of the Archie Giant series. I think they had like 10 or 15 books that were in the Archie Giant series. Archie Giant series covered everything from Archie to Betty and Veronica to Josie and the Pussycats to Jughead and even the Wilkin Boys here. So if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Share. Let your friends know. My subscription has kind of gone flat. I would hope there's more than 107 people in the world that like Archie comics. So if you could just spread the word and say, hey, if you're into Archie comics, there's this guy who has an Archie channel. Go watch it. This Thursday coming up, I will do my What's New. I'll go to the comic store on Wednesday, and I'll show you what all I've picked up and what else come, from the previous week in the mail and from auctions and everything like that. As Chonko from Chonko's Comics and Nerd Culture says, I've got a big spicy sausage for Thursday. It just came in today, and I'm looking at it at the corner of my desk over there. I don't want to ruin it. It's for Thursday. So I'll see you Thursday. Until then, everyone stay safe, stay happy, and enjoy your comics. Bye-bye.